Okay, so let's come to the center of the mat, facing the front of the mat, and we'll use a block. We're going to start in a Sukasana. Sukasana is easy pose, even though it's not actually that easy. If you don't have a block, you can sit in Sukasana just as is, or you can sit in another comfortable seated position, or you can sit on a pillow. A pillow or a bolster will work. And you can set your feet out right in front of you. And we'll set up this posture accurately before we start to move, because we're going to keep coming back to this posture throughout the practice. So let's bring the right leg in toward us. You can take the right foot with the left hand. You can pull the calf flesh toward you. And as you do that, start to turn the foot, the leg out, and you're going to set the shin down toward the floor. Now we've got our right foot in closer to the body. Let's remember that for later in the practice. And we'll do the same thing with the left foot. We'll take left foot and right hand, pull calf flesh toward us as we revolve that leg around. So we're turning the hip all the way out. We're setting the shin down onto the ground. Right leg is in front of left. And we're working to have these two heels line up with one another. So my two heels are right here. The best of your ability, as close as you can. That's something that'll happen over time. And if they're really far overlap, that's okay too. And we're just coming to find a comfortable spot in this seated position. You can rest your hands on your lap. And you can come to close the eyes. Get connected to the spine. Feel that the spine is naturally uplifted, naturally extended. Keep a natural curve in the spine. Feel that the chest is open, but there's not a ton of work you're doing to have that happen. Really good. And if it feels good for you in this shape, right here, right at the top of practice, you can place your left hand on your heart. You can place your right hand on your belly. And just notice, if you're choosing to do that, how that feels to do that. And take your attention to your breath. I got this first dose of the vaccine yesterday in the evening, and I felt fine. I felt totally fine. And then I didn't sleep, and I didn't understand why. It was really unusual. And then I just couldn't get myself out of bed in the morning, but I still felt pretty much okay. And I had this whole plan for practice today. I had this whole grand scheme about opening up the front body and how we were going to do that and break a sweat and work toward a reverse tabletop position. It's like very power heavy practice. And I just think it's so important to remember that we don't always get to do what we planned. You know, like life has another plan sometimes. So anywhere that can empower you today, just bring that up to mind right now. Anywhere you have had a plan and life has had another plan recently, just bring that up, let that be there, let that take up some space for you in your awareness. And just breathe here. And maybe if we can have the room and the grace for that to happen. Maybe it can be a source of power. Maybe we can be empowered dancing with the reality of our lives. And you can keep your eyes closed, or you can gently start to open your eyes and take your awareness just straight out in front of you, about 4 feet in front of where you're sitting on the floor. Or you can keep them closed, and you can gently rest and relax your hands to your lap. We're going to tuck the chin into the chest and start to feel an opening through the back of the neck. Then let's turn the head off on an angle to the right, bringing the chin toward the right shoulder. Lift the right hand up to the back of the head and tuck and pull on the head and feel a stretch through the left side of the neck. And just breathe into this opening. Feel the left shoulder move away from the ear. Breathe here. And good. And then you can release the right hand. You can roll the chin to the chest at center, and then roll the head over to the left side. Good. Right on that angle. Lift the left hand up and overhead, taking it straight over the back of the head and tucking the chin into the chest. Feel that gentle stretch through the back of the right side of the neck. And breathe here. Good. And release the head and roll the chin to the chest. And then we're going to roll over to the right side. We'll roll the right ear to stack right on top of the shoulder. Starting to steer that stretch toward the left side of the neck. Reach the right arm up and overhead. Take the right hand to the left side of the face and just gently press. You don't need to pull too hard. Just give yourself a little bit of weight from that hand and stretch through the left side of the neck. And breathe here. And if it feels good, you can even release the left fingertips down toward the floor and stretch even more, and just breathe into this. Maybe the exhales move you more deeply into the stretch. Maybe you release some popping, some cracking in the neck. And let's release that stretch. Let's release the hands, rock the chin to the chest at center once again, and then roll the head over to the left side, stacking the left ear on top of the left shoulder, moving that stretch into the right side of the neck. Reach the left arm up and overhead, and take the hand to the right side of the head, just giving it a little bit of weight, a little bit of downward pressure. And reach the right arm down to your side, fingertips toward the floor, and just breathe here. Breathing into that opening. Find what feels good here. What feels good for you. Good, and let's release the left hand, return the right hand to your lap, rock the chin to the chest, and we'll just rock back and forth here, rocking over to the right side, just small half circles here, and then rock over to the left side, and start to link this movement to the breath in a way that makes sense for you. That could be inhaling to the right, exhaling to the left. That could be exhaling to center and inhaling at either side. Whatever makes sense for you to link your breath to your movement. And let this be a moving meditation. Very good. And once you're even on both sides, you can bring the head to the center of the chest and lift the head, stack it on top of the neck and shoulders. Remember here, our left leg is in front. I'm going to come back to this shape in a little bit and we'll switch which side is in front. Let's lift up off of our block. We'll actually come to place the block right at the center at the front of the mat. We're going to get really intimate with this block today. And let's rock all the way onto our knees. Take a moment in tabletop. Open up the knees and let's sit back to a wide-legged child's pose. And we'll reach the arms straight out in front of us. Go ahead and grab your block and bring it right underneath your forehead and let your forehead rest here. So let the whole weight of the head go onto the block if you've got a block. If not, the floor is perfect. And just let your chest release down, let your hips release open, guiding that opening with the exhalations. Good. And let's lift the head. Let's take the block back to the top of the mat. Let's walk the hands over to the right here and get a nice deep stretch through the left side. Reaching to the right and pressing the left hip down. And then walking the hands to center and taking them over to the left side this time and pressing down through the right hip. Feel that deep stretch. If you want a little more intensity throughout this practice today, you just go ahead and give that to yourself. And you can really find some deep, intense stretch and strengthen movement in even simple shapes like this one. Maybe if you want more, you take your right hand to be on top of your left hand and you keep working through that right hip here. Good. Let's take the hands back to center here. Let's lift up and come and find a proper tabletop here. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're just going to take some extension and contraction here. We're going to work the abdomen and we'll link the breath with movement. So let's extend the left leg straight back behind us, lift it off the mat and keep the hips level here. Then right out of the shoulder joint, reach the right arm straight out in front of you. Let's take a big deep breath in here. And on an exhale, we'll bring elbow to knee and contract the abdomen. Then inhale to extend. And again, exhale to contract. We'll take 4 more like this. Linking the breath to the movement. Inhale. Exhale, take this in your own time, the last 3. And after the 3rd, you can drop your hand and your knee back down. We're really rinsing the organs with blood here as we move like this, increasing the blood flow. We'll do the same on the other side. Extend the right leg straight back behind you, lift it up, and then reach the left arm out from your shoulder joint. Take a nice deep breath in, and on your exhale, contracting at center. And inhale to lengthen. And exhale. 4 more in your own time. And no rush. After your fourth, you'll come back to the tabletop position. And make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders. We're going to come and find a plank pose here. So tuck the toes and then lift the knees. Step back until you have your plank pose. Take a deep breath in and lower the knees. Good. So we're wider than a tabletop position here. We're going to take our block and set it in between our hands. Let's work the plank pose again. Inhale, lift just your knees. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale here. And exhale, lower the chest down to the block for baby chaturanga here. And then on your next inhale, flip the toes and lift up to as close to a full expression of cobra pose as you can. And exhale, press back to a child's pose. Keep your knees together for this one. Really stretch through the armpits. And then we'll take that a few more times. So we're inhaling, coming forward toward the block, the hands. Exhale here. Inhale, lift the knees. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale here and hold. Exhale, lower your chest to the block. Inhale, lift to find a full cobra. Exhale, press back to a child's pose. Inhale, come forward on the hands. Exhale and hold. Inhale, lift up to your plank position. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, lift and hold. Exhale, lower the chest to the block. Inhale, lift to a full cobra. Exhale, press back to your child's pose. Very good. You can rest here a moment. You can rest your head down onto the mat, or you can bring the block back and rest your head on the block, whatever feels good for you. Good. And then let's inhale to lift up. We're going to come to sit on this block again. You can walk yourself around. And we'll change the crossing of the leg that's in front. So setting up our Sukasana, easy pose again. Pull the left leg in this time first. Bring the calf flesh toward you. Turn that leg out and set it back down. Now the right leg, right foot in left hand, pull the calf flesh towards you and set that foot down, bringing the heels as close to alignment as you can. Sit yourself up nice and tall and find a sense of length, strength, stability here. Come back to your breath. All right. On your next inhale, let's lift and press the chest forward, taking a cow variation. And then exhale, round the spine back. We'll take that a few more times. Inhale, rock forward, press the chest forward, lengthen. Exhale and round. Again, let's inhale forward. And exhale, take a few more cat-cow in your own time. And wherever you are, find balance, even out between the two shapes. And then once you're even, come and find an upright seated position. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine, and then we're going to exhale, take a twist over to the right. So your left hand will find your right leg, and your right hand will find the floor behind you, maybe just your fingertips, and you'll twist all the way around as much as you can, and have the twist originate in the lower body. Take a breath or two here. And then let's release, come back to front. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and we'll take the same thing, twisting over to the left side. Nice deep breaths. Your inhale lengthens your spine. Your exhale twists you more deeply. Good. On an exhale, you can release, come back to center. And let's lift up. We can take the block out from underneath us, and this time we'll just set it off to the side. We won't use it for a little while. Let's come and rock back onto the buttocks and take the legs straight out in front of us. We're going to sit right on top of the sits bones and practice a boat pose here. So lift your chest. Let's first lift your chest and then kind of rock back and find a place where you're balancing the weight of the body on your sits bones, and you can start to explore lifting one leg and then the other. And now engage the abdominal wall. Have your abdomen be a source of power here. And if you can extend your arms straight out in front of you. Let's hold this shape and breathe here. Keep lifting the chest, engaging the belly. Find a nice deep breath and hold. Good. On an exhale, release the toes, let them touch. Just take a deep breath, rest. And then we'll take that again. We'll lift one leg and then the other, one foot and then the other. Extend the arms straight out in front of you. Find your boat pose. And then on an inhale, we'll lift the left arm straight up and we'll lower the right leg toward the floor. Hover that leg. And then come back to center. Take the same thing on the other side. On an inhale, lower and hover the left leg, right arm reaches straight up, and then back to center. Take that one more time on each side. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. And lower the feet and release the legs. If there's any holding in the legs, we'll take the arms back behind us and we'll point the fingertips away from the body and give yourself a little room here. So we're going to take this movement that'll provide a really deep stretch in between the shoulder blades. You want some room. You don't want your hands to be right under the shoulder. You want them to be out a little bit. Good. Now let's inhale, lift the buttocks and pull it all the way back toward the wrists. Then we're going to lift and press all the way toward the feet. Now, you may be able from here to press your chest forward and really feel that stretch in between the shoulder blades. Big, big opening here. Now let's lift and press back. Again, lifting the bottom and sending it forward, as far forward as you can. And then maybe You continue to pull the shoulders back, and you find that deep opening in between the shoulder blades. Just breathe here. Good. Let's lift and send the bottom back. One more time through this stretch. Lift the bottom and send it forward, far forward as you can. And maybe you can find that opening through the shoulder blades, pressing the chest forward. Good. Let's lift the bottom, send it back. And from right here, just feel yourself sitting up straight and tall. Maybe you feel about an inch taller than when we started. Let's reach the left arm straight up and overhead. Bend at the elbow. Reach for that elbow and give yourself a side stretch here, stretching through the left side. Good. Inhale to center, lift both arms up, bend through the right elbow and pull that elbow over to the left. Get a side stretch there. Good. Inhale, back to center, lift and lengthen. Let's take the right hand down to the floor and take an even bigger side stretch to the left. Maybe you lift and twist the chest up toward the ceiling even. Relax through the legs, let them be heavy. Inhale back up to center, both arms. Take the left hand over to the floor and reach through the right arm. Maybe twist and lift the chest to the ceiling. And lift up to center. Release the hands. Let's take the palms back behind us once again. Fingertips face behind us. Press the chest forward. We're going to explore and reverse tabletop position. So pressing into the feet. You're going to come and lift your hips off the floor and bring your body so that it's parallel with the floor, knees to shoulders as best you can. So lift those hips. Your hips will be right in line with the knees. Lots of strength here. Maybe you release your head back behind you. You have a lot of strength here and you want to explore extending the legs, go ahead and do that. Or you can stay, or you can go back and forth between the two. And then on an exhale, let's lower the hips down. All right, very good. Yeah, you can shake out your wrists and your arms. All right, we're gonna set up our first restorative shape now. So I'll set it up here. You'll mimic it. You'll find something that's like it. Unless you're not using props, then you're just going to come into the posture as is. So we're going to do a resting butterfly pose, which is a supine pose lying flat on your back with your feet together and your knees extended like a diamond shape. But for us, if we have the props, we want to get it so that we have a firm pillow on the mat and a block underneath that firm pillow and a pillow, like a soft pillow, on top of that bolster. And if you have a strap, you may want to bring the strap around your body in this shape, wrap it around the feet. So once you've got your pillow set up ready, you're going to bring your sacrum right up against the base of the pillow and just check it out. If you were to rock back, is your head on the pillow? Or does it fall off? If it falls off the back, you want to move down a little bit lower so your head is supported and your neck is supported. And if you're wrapping a strap around your legs, good. You can actually loop the strap in. Everything all right over there? You can make a big circle. No, you're like over it. Okay, all right, good. All right, so your sacrum would be, okay, good. Yeah, take the strap. You want the side that you would pull on to be on your right side. You're gonna take it around your body. Good. Yeah, so you make a big circle, you take it around your body. You pull it down toward the base of your hips. And then you put your feet together inside of the strap. And once your feet are inside of the strap, bring your feet as close to your body as you want them to be. The closer it is, the more intense the stretch is. And then with your strap on your right side, you'll pull that strap toward you so you tighten it. So I think you can see you've got yourself inside the circle. You've got the strap coming over the top of the legs and then wrapping around the bottom of the feet. Yep, good, good. Yes, that's what you want to do. Yeah, and then you're gonna, with your feet flat together, you're gonna pull the strap as taut as you want it to be. That's great. I'm glad Brandon relinquished his strap. And now you're gonna rock yourself back if you haven't already. And just find a place where you can completely relax into this shape. We'll be here for a little while. We're gonna start in this shape with a Ramari breath practice. We'll do a simplified version of this practice. So make sure that your eyes are closed. Make sure that your body is relaxed, even though it might be working in this shape, that you're relaxing into the work being done by the props, and you're giving way to the props and to gravity to do the work, that you're not exerting a whole bunch of effort here. One tip, if this starts to become a lot for your hips, is that you can always put pillows underneath your knees. So you bring the floor up to your knees and your legs are supported. And you might actually enjoy the intensity of the opening through your hips without that. So Ramari breath. We're going to take our 2 index fingers pointed and just listen for now. I'll walk you through it. We're going to eventually plug our ears. And with our eyes closed, we'll take a deep breath in. And on our exhale, we'll sustain a hum like this. You'll just do that until you run out of air. We'll do it together 5 times, and very important that you do actually plug your ears when you do the practice. You can breathe and hum in your own time, but do it with your senses cut off. This is a way to quiet the mind and turn the senses, the five senses, inward. So when you're ready, as you're ready, you can take your index fingers and you can begin your Ramari breath practice. 5 breaths like this. When you're done with your breath practice, let your arms fall wherever it feels comfortable. Nothing in particular to pay attention to at this moment. See if you can just let yourself be. We'll take just a few more breaths in this shape before we move on to the next. Let's do a quick body scan. Noticing the face and head and allowing them to relax. Noticing the neck and shoulders, and allowing them to relax. Noticing both arms and allowing them to rest, heavy and limp. Noticing the chest, allowing it to release. Noticing the belly, all of the vital organs in the abdomen, and allowing the whole trunk of the body to rest. Noticing the legs and allowing the legs to be heavy. Just one more moment of letting the legs rest heavily. Release downward. If you're in a strap, the first thing you'll want to do is loosen the strap. Just loosen it. We want to loosen it enough that we could take our legs, our feet out from inside of the strap and extend them straight out in front of us. And if you don't have a strap, then that's exactly what you're doing, extending your legs straight out in front of you. Not bringing the knees together, not lifting the legs, just unbending the legs. That's the first movement, unbending the knees. And take your time to get to your neck shape. Probably will feel good to shake and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle the legs. Maybe the hips. Whatever you do, don't get trapped in the strap. There's no coming back from that. Good. And you don't have to take the strap off. You will eventually, but you can just leave it there. And after some time with the legs extended, you can bend the knees. Have the feet be as wide as the mat. Lift and tuck the tailbone and set the sacrum back down on the ground. We're going to take some dynamic restorative movement here. So we'll drop the legs over to the right side. You should feel that big stretch through the front of the left hip, and then just reach your left arm up to deepen that stretch. And then come back to center and take the same thing on the other side. Drop the knees over to the left side. Feel that stretch through the front of the hip, turn on, and then reach the right arm straight up to deepen that stretch. And then you can just take that a few more times in your own time. If you want to move really fast, you can do it quickly like windshield wipers. If you want to keep it slow, you can keep it slow. Make sure both sides are even before you come back to center, and take your knees in toward one another with your feet feet as wide as the mat. And we'll walk the feet into center so the feet meet, and we'll actually rock all the way off of our bolster onto the floor, onto the left or right side, either does not matter. You're going to pull the knees in nice and close to the chest in a fetal pose, but a nice tight fetal pose. You're giving yourself a little hug here. Good. And then we'll gently press ourselves up to a seated position. Good. And we've got one more shape. It's my favorite restorative shape to take. An upside down Shavasana. So you're going to need something like a bolster and a block again. And if you don't have either of those things, then you'll just take this straight on the floor, and I'll show you how to do that. If you had a strap, you can move your strap away. And this shape is a little bit like, feels a little bit like what it feels like to be in a massage table. You're going to actually press your pelvis onto the bottom edge of your bolster. Your face will rest on top of the bolster, and either on this medium height, you'll have your block. It feels nice. That can feel really nice. It's corrective for the cervical spine, so that's the back of the neck. Or you could have it on its lowest height. Whatever feels better for you. If you don't have this set up, you can lay flat on the mat, and you can either bring your fingers together, interlace your fingers, and rest your forehead on your hands, or you can create two fists and rest your forehead on your hands like that. Coming to find this upside down Shavasana shape. And once you've found it, you can extend your feet away from one another so that your legs are open pretty wide. And all this is to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. It's like that therapeutic experience of laying down on your belly, that safety, that calm. But this allows us to do it while massaging the internal organs, releasing the hips and the sacrum, and keeping the head and neck elevated so that you can breathe properly. If you feel like you need to lower the height of the block and place a pillow on top of it, like if you feel like the block is too hard for your forehead, you can go ahead and do that. And then just bring some consciousness to this other benefit of the posture, this massaging the pineal gland that's taking place right now. All there is to do in this shape is release more and more with each breath. And as we start to wrap up today's class and to bring the experience full circle to a close, bring back to mind that inquiry from the beginning of our time together. What's an area of your life that you would benefit from surrendering to what life has planned over what you've got planned? And you can allow yourself to dwell in that question. And now from here, nice and slowly, take your hands, move them down towards your armpits, like as if you were coming to get into a cobra pose. You can leave your legs just like they are. We're going to gently press ourselves up, come back into a child's pose, and you should find that your bolster is right around where you need it to rest your head. And you can just gently move it so that you can rest your forehead on the bolster. And we're coming to the final moments of our practice today. Make it a point to acknowledge yourself for practicing. And maybe you can take your left hand to your heart and take your right hand to your belly from where you are here. And kind of find a relaxed way of holding yourself. And just honor yourself for coming to the mat and practicing. You could easily have done something else with this hour of your time. And it may not have been what you were expecting, but maybe it provided something that you need. And you can start to press yourself up to a seated position, sitting right on your heels. And take your hands together at heart center, and let's just bow the chin to the chest and all acknowledge one another for practicing. Thank you for coming and spending this time today. Namaste. Now we can all come back together, and we'll all have red splotches on our forehead from having our foreheads resting on blocks and bolsters for the last 10 minutes. Thanks everybody for practicing today. Enjoy the rest of your
30 minutes.
Huh?
In like 30 minutes?
Even 30 minutes, yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.